guys, welcome to our channel once again. So today we're going to be talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta, the season 15 episode 8. Firstly, I'm gonna say today's episode was a disappointment. I felt like I could literally do without this episode. The episode was I don't think any other episode has been this bad, that I found myself asking myself what exactly was I watching on this episode. I don't know whether you felt that same way.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I felt like it was like really boring and there was no energy behind it. And you know, the story plot thickens, you know, but
Yeah.
it was really boring. I guess I
Hmm.
expected more from them this week, since you have all the viewers' attention, like give us something, And it was like basically the same little song and dance, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I literally because people were already like, okay, from last week's episode, okay, maybe they're gonna give us something. Although I did anticipate this when I watched the preview for this today's episode. I literally
Mhm.
said that I don't have high hopes for
Right,
the episode.
right.
I did say that I didn't have high hopes, but I did not expect it to be this bad.
Yeah, it was uninteresting
Mm,
to say the least. I mean,
very, very uninteresting.
yeah, I could have did some house cleaning or something, instead of watching the show, because it was that boring. I mean, I had to keep rewinding just to see if I missed something, to find out
It's,
I didn't miss anything. They were just like really boring.
I'm telling you. Well, let's just go into it. We had Drew.
Mhm.
Drew in today's episode was just talking about her music video coming up, um, and her family house. This part was very funny where she was trying to ask Alexa to play her music. It was so funny to me, but I was happy that she recognized her song because it would have been very awkward if if she didn't recognize her song. But it was nice that she recognized her song and played it. At least it shows like it will give her courage that okay, at least her song is known to a certain extent that it could recognize her song. But I felt like this part, her talking about the music video, her asking Alexis to play her music, I was like, what is the essence of this? What exactly was this? I felt it was just a way to just make the episode an hour long.
Right,
That was literally how I felt.
right. I mean, I didn't understand the part of her playing her song. I mean, she wanted to show the other young lady that was there with her in the kitchen her dance steps that she couldn't even remember. So I didn't
Yeah.
understand that. And then it seemed like she wanted to ask Alexa to, hey, replay that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
Yeah.
nah, we heard enough. We've seen enough and we've heard enough, you know? So I didn't see the sense of that, you know?
Exactly. And another thing I wanted to talk about was the fact that they talked about Ralph, and Ralph came into the picture, and Drew and Ralph started talking about Drew's sister, who was a former manager
Right.
and had to step down because of some, you know, issues like mental issues that she needed to, take care of. And to realize that he literally banned her own sister from coming to the house. That felt like I was looking like, why would somebody that I call my husband
Mhm.
ban my family, my sister, from not coming to my house. That felt like unnecessary and controlling. It didn't
Yeah,
feel like you were supportive of me, as because when you marry someone, you marry their family,
true.
irrespective of whatever, dysfunctional or functional family that you are marrying to. You marry your spouse, you're marrying their family also. Yes, it's not compulsory you like everybody in the family, but when it comes to family, you're supposed to know how to compromise. I could understand if he said, I don't want you to be always coming over. I want your visitation to be limited. But saying that he banned her completely from not coming over to their house for 2 years,
That's
I was like, no, that is bad because that's her sister.
yeah,
Like, they grew up together. As in, it's not her cousin, it's not her friend.
yeah,
That's her sister. And I felt like if she felt like this guy was controlling and a control freak, that's what control freaks do.
yeah,
Trying to control how you do things, how you breathe, what you wear, who you see. And I felt like Drew didn't do a good job watching her husband ban her own sister from coming to the house for 2 whole years.
yeah. I thought that was
I thought that
pretty, pretty sad and everything. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah,
if she's pointing out issues, I don't know if she went directly to Drew and said, "Look, I think he's controlling," and whoop whoop whoop, and then Drew happened to mention it because you know how some women have pillow talk with their husbands
yeah,
or their man, and they'll tell their girlfriend's business to their man, and their sister's business to their man. I don't do the pillow talk. You know what I'm saying? What you say to me in
yeah,
confidence is for my own good, and I keep it to myself. But a lot
yeah.
of a lot of women don't. So I don't know how that came about, but I just thought it was like, you know, when you're in a situation with a man and he starts putting limitations on family members and friends, that's abuse. That's
Exactly.
it's social abuse. And then when it comes to relatives, you know that's psychological abuse. Because as you said, that's her sister. She grew up with her. They have a bond. And if she's been her manager for 30 years, so for 2 years she's been unmanaged. you know and if my sister had some type of mental uh, breakdown, and my spouse said, "Hey, your sister can't come around here," not unless my sister was violent. That's the only way she could come around. But just by you saying it, it's not gonna make it so for me. Because that's my sister. I'm not saying your sister can't come. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of blame that on Drew. I didn't even know she had a sister until that scene, you know. And how long has Drew been on there? A couple of years
That,
now, right?
yeah,
And I
she
never
hasn't
knew.
seen this house
Yeah,
they are in.
I never seen her sister or heard or mention of her sister, you know. So it was just kind of shocking for him to like lay the rules down, and when you're in an abusive relationship, the first thing the abuser is going to do is they're going to try and cut all ties with your lifeline, so they can
Yeah,
abuse in private, whether it's mental abuse, physical abuse, social abuse, it's all abuse. So I blame that on Drew. She should have opened her mouth and said something like, "No, you're not. Nope, she'll be here next weekend. Oh, so you're gonna be gone for a couple hours? Okay, she'll be here visiting." You know, that's
yeah.
it's that would be one argument I would be willing to have.
She like I felt bad. I really felt bad.
Yeah,
And the fact that, did you see when She finally came to visit when she came, and
Yeah.
he went to sleep on time.
Oh yeah. That was on purpose.
That
Just
was
because
like,
he couldn't show face. You know?
I was like, that didn't make sense. Your wife's sister is showing her face in your house after so many years of not being welcomed in the house. At least be accommodating and just like pretend as if you do care,
Yeah, I mean he could
and
have
show your face.
yeah, he could have been there when she opened the door and say, "Hey, how you doing?" Give her a hug. You all right? All right, I'm about to go to sleep, you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Whatever the case may be. But at least speak, you know, instead of being a
Yeah.
fake and sleep, you know. It was rude.
Exactly.
It was rude, you know. It was rude.
And the fact that the part where they went for their music video,
Hmm.
uh I didn't understand. Like, she called every other person apart from Marlo. Even the Candy she called was not even, didn't even make it without like, why would you be so loyal to somebody that cannot take her out of her time
Right.
to even spare to come and be on your music video? I did not understand why she would still stick to her loyalty to Candy. Because if I'm always this loyal the way she is loyal to Candy, Candy should have at least, even if it's for few minutes, she's not gonna be that long. She should have at least showed her face for that music video. I don't know. That was how I did feel. That she should
Well,
have at least showed her face.
I kind of looked at it like this. Maybe Candy is still under contract with what's her name of her group? Not SWV, but
Okay, SWV.
oh, she's with SWV.
Escape.
Escape. Yeah.
Escape.
Maybe she's still under contract with Escape. And under that contract, you can't uh use your likeliness or you know uh anything of that nature if you're under that specific contract, or else you'll be voiding, you know, that contract. So I figured it was something like that. And then like Kenya said, "Hey, this is kind of like low budget." You know what I'm saying? And it really was.
Kenya has always been rude, so I don't really take Kenya's talk with face factor. She's very rude.
Oh yeah, I mean that's her nature. You know
Uh,
what I'm
uh, uh,
saying? That's her nature.
yeah,
She's nasty for a reason. You know, she is. I mean, imagine being one of the most beautiful women in the world and don't nobody really want you.
exactly.
You know,
Her mouth, because of the things she brings up from her mouth, she's rude. She's not sympathetic. She's as in, oh,
she's one of those pretty mean girls.
yeah, exactly.
And I don't know if that's because how she grew up, you know, because sometimes the world will make you a mean person and you're really not trying to be, but you have all your defenses up. You don't let nobody close to you. You know what I'm saying? Because you've been hurt so much when you think this person is your friend. And then she got the mommy issues and then bad luck with men.
Yeah.
I,
Well, I also feel that even if you say um situations make you um put you in a situation where you would, you know, have a certain attitude, I still feel like sometimes, yes, I think at a certain time in life you realize that this character is not actually good and try to change it. Even if your situation or whatever has been going on has made you reacted in one way or another. But I
right.
still feel like you would just tell yourself it doesn't pay to be rude or bad or not
Right.
having a sense of, okay, what I'm doing is not actually right.
Right.
It doesn't pay to be like that.
Yeah.
But that's that's who she is. I guess she feels her beauty is above every other person.
I mean,
You
she's
know?
a pretty girl, but she has a nasty attitude.
Yeah. But like this picture, I literally love this. Like I love that the sister appreciated. I think was like a dream of hers to see that her sister actually actualizes. Like that is what family is all about, and this is what. Sorry, this is what she has been missing all these years that Ralph literally banned her from being close to her. This is
Hmm.
what they could have had.
Right.
Like it was perfect. I literally understood the tears because they know where they are coming from. They know what they have gone through in life, and I'm happy that at the end of the day, they get to stay together like this.
Yeah.
And be close to each other.
You know who
I'm
he kind of
literally happy.
you know who he kind of remind me of?
Yeah,
He remind me of Mister on The Color Purple. you know, me and you must never part. Because he was acting like Mister was acting when when Mister tried to take uh Silly away from her sister. It
yeah,
just kind of brought that scene to me, and I was like, why is he acting like Mister? You know?
yeah. When it was like, "Oh, I'm sure you love this," like acting like a good person, like he did care. If you did
Yeah,
care, you wouldn't have asked her not to come see her sister for 2 years.
yeah. You know, Notice that, hey, everybody, sometimes people get sick. Their emotions uh, overrule them, and
Yeah,
sometimes they get sick, and maybe she did see those type of characteristics in Ralph, you know, and is it that deep if she says it? It's only when you react to when somebody says something does it make it true.
yeah,
No reaction means, hey, it doesn't pertain to you. But when you react, that's when you know you're guilty. At least I know that's when it's,
exactly.
you know?
His reaction alone to that statement she made was enough solid, you know, ground that okay, fine. Probably what I said was true.
Yeah,
You are a control freak, no
yeah,
doubt.
yeah. I
Because
can
you
believe
were
it.
called a control freak, and the next thing you decided to do was, man, I banned you from the house. Don't come near me. I don't want to see you. Shh. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, usually that comes from a man who feels like, hey, I pay everything. I pay for the food in your mouth. I pay for your grooming. That's why I say never give your power to a man. Who cares about what they got? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Use your own backbone. Never give a man your power because that's the kind of stuff that happened. Then they get to dictate your life. They get to write your chapters in your book, you know? So
mm,
I don't know. I blame Drew on that because she should have put her foot down because, hey, that's her sister. That's her big sister, you know? And her sister needed her and she needed her sister. And you seen
yeah,
how her mom cried because like that's all she's been praying for lately is for them sisters to get together and have that unity again.
yeah,
So that I it made me really, it warmed my heart and it kind of jerked a tear from my eye, as far as her sister goes, because I got sisters. I have five of
yeah,
them, and yeah, it just kind of jerked a tear from my eye.
yeah. Well, I was happy that they were able to like, and I hope it stays like that. I do hope.
Me too.
I hope it's not for the cameras because we know this thing sometimes is just for the cameras. I hope they really stay the way they are right now.
I don't know.
I hope.
I seen something that Carlos King had said that he was getting requests that Drew didn't have a storyline. So something about, well, here comes a storyline. So I don't know if that was supposed to have been part of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
because everybody says she's so boring, you know.
She is.
So
It's
I
not lies.
yeah, so I figured maybe Carlos is probably watching your show, your podcast, He's probably watching and listening, ain't no telling.
uh, okay. Now to this situation with Kandi and Shereé. She by Shin or she by Shereé. Wow, this conversation was funny. And you know what was very funny to me is the fact that every single time Candice kept on saying she by she, and she kept on correcting her. No, she by Sheree, she by Sheree. I was like, oh my god, are these literal babies arguing? Like it
Yeah,
was funny, and I did understand. I don't know. I did understand where um and Sheree was coming from, because it's true. What
mhm,
she was coming. I'm not saying that Candy is not right. Candy
mhm,
was right. But I understand where Sheree was coming from, because we are in the same industry, and I literally won't go to your business, even if they didn't treat me well. I won't go online and start busting and typing and saying, oh, this was bad. Oh, this thing was bad. They didn't treat me well. Yeah, her service was not nice.
right,
I didn't understand that, because you are like setting me up for failure, because
right,
you have a very big audience, and you
mhm,
coming out and typing that, a lot of people that are very called big fans of yours will believe that that is what is happening.
right. Well, like I said in one of your other podcasts, I did go to Sheree's uh, website and I got to see the outfits. And I'm telling you, seriously, it was not worth no $265 or $285 that I seen. And I was like, I could go down to Sports Chalet and get this
Yeah,
stuff on the sales rack for like $15 for the shirt and pants. You know what I'm saying? But I'm
yeah,
like, okay, I guess everybody got to make a living. The stuff wasn't that cute to me, for me personally to wear. You know what I'm saying? And it just, it wasn't worth the money, So, and then the next time I tried to go on the site, because I said, well, let me thumb through and see if she added more merch on there. So I tried to go on there and it was crashed, So I was like, I'm not dealing with this, you know, not dealing with it at all. And I give Shereé kudos for the way she invited Kandi to speak with her one on one instead of them doing it in front of all the girls. That's some grown woman stuff when you go to a person and you do it one on one, you know, because I don't need an audience. If I'm going to confront you, I'm going to confront you. And I don't need the sidebar talking in the background, because I want to make sure that you understand me and I want to make sure I understand what's coming out of your mouth as well, you know. So I don't know. I think Kandi, she takes it lightly because she's so well established, you know, and where
yeah,
Shereé has been doing everything basically on her own, because Kandi has been established for years. She has this really big platform with Shereé. You know, you look at Sheree's first marriage and all that she went through, and then raising her kids basically single-handedly, building a beautiful home. So Shereé built herself up to be who she is. Where Kandi, you've been groomed like way back in the 80s, you know? So I
yeah,
felt like she took her business lightly, and everybody knows when you start a new business, it's going to take 3 to 4 years to see any type of profit, So
exactly.
I just didn't really understand that dig. You know what I'm saying?
You didn't understand it from Candy's point of view or from Sheree's point of view?
Well, I didn't understand it from Candy's point of view. Like I said, Candy's been established. You know what I'm saying? And you know,
Yeah.
I did hear Candy say, "Well, hey, you know, I gave you advice. I told you to do this. I told you to do that." And Sheree was like, "Well, yeah, I did do that." But then in the same sentence, Sheree started backpedaling on her little conversation, and I'm like, "Huh? But if you did this, but then why did you turn around and do that?" You know, it's just like she was telling her, hey, these are the routes that I would go if I was just starting my business. So I'm going to tell you this, I'm going to tell you that. You know, and Sheree goes, well, I did do that, but then this, but then I did that, but then that. And then did I do that? Did I do it that way? You know, she was even like questioning herself, you know, like I, I didn't understand that. You know, if I'm going to be in front of somebody who can give me answers, I'm gonna have a pen and paper. I'm gonna write it down because, hey, I'm trying to do big things here, you know. And if you can kind of show me the way or guide me, I'm gonna pay more attention, especially if
Uh-huh.
you're where I hope to be someday. You know, I'm gonna be,
Yeah.
you know. But hey, I guess Sheree figured, hey, she had it done on her own. She knows what she's doing, you know. But I don't know. You know, I would have listened to that business advice and took it in consideration.
But I was happy that they were matured enough in the conversation.
Hmm.
They 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 were very matured in their conversation, at least than most of the conversations, most of the arguments that has happened on the season. At least I appreciate that the both of them, have, this level of maturity and say, okay, fine, we need to discuss this thing one on one. And I feel like that's what Tandy and Marlo too should have done
Yeah.
instead of stretching out the whole issues that happened this season.
Right.
Now, okay. Um, to this beautiful lady here, I'm gonna say this. She was one of the best um people in today's episode. And but the thing is that Marlo always comes, banging with her fashion sense. She's always looking beautiful.
Yeah.
She knows her dresses. She knows her way. She knows her clothes. So I appreciate that for her. But
Hmm.
talking about her going on this date, but before we talk about this date, before she went on the date, she decided to call Sanya and said she was scared. She was kind of, this is her first time after a long while. And then Sanya spoke to her, and Sanya told her that they went to Drew's um video, this thing, video, how do they call it? Her video. uh, I don't know how to put it, but her video shooting, yeah. And she did not invite Marlo. And I felt like if you were inviting everybody, why not invite Marlo?
Right. Right.
That didn't seem well. Then Marlo decided to call her. Even if I felt like it was a very Marlo calling her was on her own selfish reasons, but she called her. But I love the fact that Marlo was even trying to be apologetic
Yeah.
towards
Mhm.
Drew. But what I found offensive is that someone is apologizing to you. Take it and leave. Like a matured person that you are.
Right.
Like a grown person that you are.
Right.
Why why are you literally trying why are you trying to, like, you know um bring up matters? You're trying to, like, oh, I don't understand how your feelings are. I don't understand how your I love that she handed up the call, because I would have done that too. Because I'm going for a date. I'm not literally going to stay here and get pissed off before I go on my date. So I appreciated that she hanged up the call, because that is what I would have done, because that's not what I was calling you for.
Right.
I called you to congratulate you. I called you to apologize. But instead of you to take the apology in good faith, you were trying to find issues where there are no issues. She literally apologized. Okay, I didn't know that you felt sad when I called you the B word on that day. Okay, you felt sad. I apologize.
Right.
It takes a lot for someone to apologize for things, especially when we are all grown. It takes a
Right.
lot to apologize. But she apologized, said, okay, fine. If you felt bad or you felt sad that I said something, I do apologize.
Right.
I expected her to just say, oh, thank you. After she was demanding the apology, she
Yeah.
demanded an apology and said, oh, I need an apology from you. I need the apology from you. And you got the apology. What else?
She wanted it on a silver platter, with a cherry on top, I guess. I mean, I heard Marlo apologize twice. You know,
I'm telling you.
yeah, saying, "Hey, I apologize." She took responsibility for making her feel a certain type of way. You know, and it's like, how many times do you want a person to apologize before they take it back? Because I would have probably hung up too. You know, and I thought that was really nice of Marlo to take time out of her busy date night to call and congratulate her, to let her know, hey, I am thinking about you, even though, she wasn't invited, but, hey, I'm thinking about you. Congratulations, beautiful,
Uh-huh.
what you're doing, your accomplishments, and then all of a sudden, she already told her, hey, I'm on my way to a date. So why would you say, well, guess what? I have egregious against you and I need to talk to you about this because I didn't appreciate, like, save that for another time. Yeah, you could have said, okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Will you enjoy your date and be careful out there? And we'll talk soon. And then once you talk soon, then say, hey, girl, I'm going to need you to meet me. I just want to clear a few things up. That's how you do it. But I think she was trying to get more TV time, you know, on
Uh-huh.
Marlo's little TV time. And Marlo was like, nope, click.
And I'm sure she will bring it up in their next meeting.
Oh, of course.
Oh, Malo hanged up the call on me. That was very offensive. I felt disrespected. Lala, you disrespected her. What were you expecting?
Yeah, yeah,
She called you and told you, for the fact that she had already told you that she was going for a date. I felt every other feeling that you had should have been shoved aside,
right, right.
because you don't want to make her emotions on the bad side. Then she goes on a date and she transfers the aggression on poor guy that doesn't know what is going on.
Yeah, I understand. And I believe in um, energy. When you're around bad energy, and then even you try and put that smile on your face, I think it still shows through your soul. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You could still pick up on it, and what her date had picked up on it, and were like, nah, she ain't for me. When they
Mm-hmm.
could have been a perfect match.
Exactly.
You know, so yeah, that energy is a real thing. So I just felt that she shut it down because she wasn't taking that with her.
Mm-hmm. She wasn't, and I was proud of her. Like, yeah, she did the very, very right thing.
Mhm.
She did the very, very right thing.
Yeah.
But now talking about the dates, like, how did you feel about the dates?
Well, at first I was like a little nervous for her, and then, this guy kind of made me want to renege what I said on the last podcast about not dating guys who've been to jail. I mean, this guy got a whole restaurant. you know. And
Mhm.
like I said, I'm not a gold digger. It's just, hey, he's changed his life around to do things
Yeah.
for the better, you know. So therefore, he didn't need to go out and get the good government job, the good city job, the good county
Yeah.
job. He didn't have to do that. He started his own restaurant. It looks like it's very successful. The food looked great. The drinks looked great. You know,
Mm.
he was easy on the eyes. He looked like he was perfect for her. And then when he said he, been to jail a couple of times, and I was like, and then I said, oh yeah, her too. Because I
Hmm.
I don't hold
And
that
and
over
I
her
love
head.
the fact when she said, at least I'll be with someone that would not judge me
Yeah,
because of my past.
exactly,
Because
exactly,
people tend to, when you say I've been to jail, people will just be like, oh,
right.
are you sure she wouldn't commit the same offense that she committed and made her be in jail? So I was literally happy that at that moment she felt this sense of security. I was
Yeah,
literally like, oh my God, what she's gonna like, especially when she started complaining already that, oh, is this a strip club? Is this a bar? She's never been on a date on a strip club before.
mm,
I was like, please go in there with an open mind. And I was happy that Sanya tried to push her and told her, go in there with an open mind. Don't try and be closed off. Don't try and expect the unexpected. Just go in there and just see how it's gonna be like. And it worked. Because
yeah,
like the guy treated her like a queen.
yeah. And
From the
she asked the
food
right
to the
questions.
drinks.
Yeah, she asked the right questions, and they were so cute. They played, you know, and,
Yeah.
they giggled, they
There was
laughed.
they were flirty,
Yeah, and I
it,
seen
it,
his
it was
hand touch
there.
her and grab her hand, and I just thought that was so cute. And I was like, that's what she needs. That's
Exactly.
what she needs. And then she was like, well, he's a little bit too young, but it's okay, Marlo. Yeah,
Yeah, she was like, well,
it's
she
all
she
right.
he's not too young. She
No,
can still stick with him as far as he likes her.
mhm. I think
That's
he
good.
really,
And
yeah, I
and
think
he
he really
literally
did.
brought, yeah, the assistant really did a very good game. Like she literally picked the right guy
Yeah,
for her.
when she said, I have two kids that I've been raising, my nephews, he said, yeah, I heard, like he been kind of keeping up with her story, you know.
Yeah,
So he was vested in her. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? And I felt good, like, God, let Marlo get a love. I want her to be in love. I want her to smile because she's beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah, I want her to have good things. And hopefully that's a start.
I was very, very, very happy for her. Like I never expected the dates to turn out like that, but it did, and I was like, oh, I hope this goes better.
Hmm.
I hope it goes better from now on. Let's see better things.
Right.
Well, we got to see next week's preview. Do you think next week's episode is gonna be better than this week?
Um, Not really. Wait a minute. Next episode, didn't I see some of the old crew meeting for a lunch or something?
Yeah,
Yeah, I did. I don't even know what that's
and we're
all
gonna be finally
about.
meeting Kenya's boo.
Yeah, I don't know if they're trying to bring some of them back because everybody's been saying, "Hey, bring them back because those was the stars." You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but I'm just kind of just want to see what's gonna come out of that. You know what I'm saying? Because I heard that Kim is divorced or going through divorce, and
And
you
but
know,
I think when they shot this, they haven't gotten to that stage because it didn't look as if they were in that stage of divorce.
okay,
Who knows? Who knows? I'm not sure, but probably we'll get to find out when the episode ends whether this was when they were going through a divorce or before or
right.
after. But
Yeah.
I feel like next week episode will still not give anything.
Yeah, I
It
think maybe it's just a luncheon just to catch up and
I
see
think it's still
and
gonna
see
be
who's
missing
willing.
something.
Yeah, or see who's willing to maybe come back in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I just hope it gets better because I I I think I was telling someone today because I kept on all through today. I was telling myself I needed to watch this episode. I needed to watch this episode. Then a friend of mine was like, "Why are you murmuring about this?" I said, "Because I need to cover this episode. I need to talk about this episode, and I can't get myself to watch it.
Mm,
I can't get myself to watch it, and it's not going to be possible if I don't watch it. I
right,
can't talk about it."
right. I mean, the only three good scenes from it was Drew and her sister, uh, Kandi and Sheree's talk, and Marlo and her date.
Exactly.
You
In the
know,
whole 1 hour, that was the only
yeah,
thing I could pick up.
yeah. You know, the rest of it was just like extras. Like you got extras, you pay extras to be
Yeah.
there in a movie. They were like
I I I tried watching it live. I was
extras.
watching it live. I think I stopped where before the music video part. I didn't know when I slept off with my phone.
Oh,
I literally dozed off. By the time I woke up, it was already it was done already, and I was like, "Damn, was this how this was boring that I literally slept off?"
wow. Yeah, it was. I watched it. Like I said, I kept rewinding because I was like, did I miss something? You know, I didn't get up. I didn't move around. I wasn't touching nothing in my space. So I was like, okay, I must have missed something. Let me rewind and listen and watch again. Nothing. You know, it's just like being in a matrix with a bunch of extras. You know, it was no content. You know,
No,
so
they
I didn't
literally
really
need.
enjoy it.
I even think that most of these reality TV shows are literally losing their value. Like they are missing the points from what they started the show as.
Right. I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, because who's married on the show besides Candy and Drew?
Uh-huh. And Drew is gonna be divorced.
Yeah. I mean, I seen that coming. You know what I'm saying? I seen that coming about a year and a half ago. You know, when Drew was when they were saying she was involved with the preacher guy,
Yeah.
you know, and then they were saying that Ralph was gay, and then Ralph is disappearing out of the state and getting hotel rooms. I was like, okay, this is doomed. You know, this is doomed and this is going nowhere. You know, and sooner or later, there, you know, he's seeking his attention elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? While she's trying to make a comeback, being a comeback kid with the acting and the singing and the dancing. You know what I'm saying? His attention is elsewhere. It's not with her. You know, so I seen that and I was like, okay, I hope she's paying attention. You know, it kind of makes you wonder, like after they get through taping it, once it's on TV, do they watch themselves? I mean, I would.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to see if there's anything that I missed. You know,
They do what they watch themselves.
yeah. Well, then she should have been picking up that he doesn't seem that interested. You know,
Some people literally do see the red flags and
yeah,
ignore the red flags.
yeah. I I, I understand that too, especially you know if you're a woman and you're not the breadwinner and you know he's doing everything, you kind of like, okay, I'm gonna let that slide. I'm gonna act like I don't see it. You know, and thank God I have never been like that. You know, I don't care who's
Mm-hmm.
winning the bread. You know what I'm saying? You just
Mm-hmm.
not gonna treat me any kind of way. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
not gonna happen. You know, but see, that's when you truly love yourself. and material things mean nothing. You know, I want to be treated the same way I treat you. If I'm treating you good, then you treat me good. If it's anything less than what I expect, then it's a wrap. We're not gonna do this. You know, I don't care how much I love you. We're not gonna do this. You know, because I love myself first. You know, and that's what I see that a lot of these women on these reality TV shows are lacking. You know, they don't love themselves first. You know, my mom used to say, how's anybody gonna love you if you don't love yourself? And it
Yeah.
made me think. It made me think. And I'm like, I do love myself, but you know, maybe I wasn't loving myself enough to where I would let certain
You're
things go
supposed
on
to be,
around me,
yes.
you know, and I would like maybe act like I didn't see it or act like I didn't understand it, you know. That's because I was releasing my power. And then I learned how to get my power back. And now that I've been holding my power for so long, I'll never let nobody take my power. You know, this is my God given power, you know, and nobody can steal it. Like they say, don't let nobody steal your joy. Don't let nobody steal your power. You know, you can cooperate. You can operate within a relationship, holding on to your power. You know, because it's your power that drawn that person to you in the first place. Not unless they were a manipulator and say, oh, that's an easy person that I can manipulate. You know, because some men do look for that in women. You know, where they feel like they could do whatever they want to do, and hey, what I say goes. You know, you don't like it, leave. You know, and then some women are so wrapped up into that life, they have nowhere to go. They don't have money. They don't know what to do next. They don't know how to live without a person. You know, that's because you've given up your power, baby. You know? So I don't know.
Well, I actually do wish them well, and I just hope that the episode doesn't keep on getting boring
Mhm.
because I'm beginning to lose my faith, and we still have like 8 more episodes to go.
Mhm.
Hmm. I think I will need strength from above to keep on watching.
Mhm.
I will literally need strength from above to keep on watching.
Wow.
Well, about to round off. Do you have any final thing to say before we?
Well, I'm hoping that um, the next episode where they bring the OGs back in, you know, I'm hoping that they can, you know, liven the show up, you know, even if it's
Mm-hmm.
just making guest appearances. You know, if they're not coming back, then at least hopefully they can make guest appearances because you know anything is better than what they're doing now because I am bored to tears watching them. You know, I thought I was gonna get something, you know, some reality entertainment, you know, and I just got blah. You know, it's like eating jello, you know, jello with no whipped
Yeah.
cream, you know.
Yeah.
You know, so hopefully within the next couple of episodes they can give us more than what they've been bringing to the table because I don't want to keep eating off that table if you're going to keep serving the same thing,
Exactly.
you know.
Well, I hope they will do better in next week's episode, and I'm expecting for the ratings to be very poor in today's episode. I'm expecting the ratings to be poor. Well, guys, thank you very much for hanging with us. Thank you for liking our videos. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and comment on our videos. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye, queen.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.